It's been pretty long since we've seen the Prime branding on a Redmi smartphone, but now it's back with the Redmi 9 Prime. And at this point you will wonder, we've already got the Redmi Note 9 and the Redmi Note 9 Pro, so why the Redmi 9 Prime? Xiaomi explains that there is a spot in the market for this particular smartphone because the Redmi Note 9 series has gotten expensive because of the GST hike and the rupee-dollar fluctuation, and that's where this phone comes in right under 10,000 rupees. But has Xiaomi gone overboard with the cost-cutting exercise, or do you really get good value on this Redmi 9 Prime? Well, you're about to find out in this review. Hi, I'm Aditya Shinoy, you're watching Gadgets 360, and this is the full review of the Redmi 9 Prime. But before I go ahead, be sure you are subscribed to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and click on that bell icon so that you're the first to know when we have a new video.
Let's start with the design of the phone. The Redmi 9 Prime has a textured back with a circular patch around the camera module that is smooth. This reminds me of the Poco X2. You have this pill-shaped camera module at the back, under which you have the fingerprint sensor. Up front, you get a 6.53-inch display with a dewdrop notch. It has Full HD Plus resolution, not very common at this price point but very welcome, and it is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. It is an acceptable display with decent viewing angles, although I would have liked a brighter panel. Powering the Redmi 9 Prime is a MediaTek Helio G80 SoC paired with 4GB of RAM and either 64GB or 128GB of internal storage.
We'll talk about the pricing later, but let me tell you this, I've got the top variant of the Redmi 9 Prime and surprisingly it's priced exactly the same as the base variant of the Redmi Note 9.
For the price, the Redmi 9 Prime offers good performance, and I did not encounter any lag or slowdowns while using the smartphone. It was quick to load common apps and I could multitask between them very easily. PUBG Mobile ran at the HD graphics quality and high frame rate without any stutter. However, the phone did get slightly warm after playing a couple of matches, something you should keep in mind if you are planning to buy this phone for playing games. Coming to the battery backup, this phone is powered by a 5020 mAh battery. It lasted beyond a day and a half with my usage, pretty solid for a phone at this price. But it ships with a rather measly 10-watt charger, which takes ages to charge that huge battery. It only got it from 0 to 19% in 13 minutes and to 36% in an hour. It does support faster charging standards, so you can buy an 18-watt charger separately. Now let's talk about that pill-shaped camera module at the back. You get 4 cameras here, and one of these is the 13-megapixel primary sensor.
The hardware is acceptable for the lower variant of the Redmi 9 Prime, but for the higher variant, it feels inadequate because this phone competes with the Realme Narzo 10 and the Redmi Note 9, both of which sport 48-megapixel primary cameras.
In daylight, the Redmi 9 Prime managed decent shots and got the exposure right with decent details. The AI boosted colors slightly when shooting with the primary camera. The wide-angle camera has a lower resolution and the output isn't boosted, and the details aren't as good. For close-ups, the camera takes some time to lock focus, and if you aren't patient, you will get a blurry shot. But if you give it time, the phone does manage good results. The Redmi 9 Prime also takes decent portraits, but edge detection was strictly average. The macro mode is hidden away in a sub-menu and is easy to miss, but it manages a sharp output. I couldn't find a dedicated night mode on the Redmi 9 Prime and had to rely on the AI to detect low light and set the camera up. The phone did a good job of keeping noise under control, but the output isn't as sharp at night. The Redmi 9 Prime managed decent selfies, but the AI seems to boost colors here as well. It can also capture selfie portraits, but edge detection isn't great. In low light, quality takes a hit and you lose out on detail. Video recording is limited 1080p on both the primary as well as the selfie cameras. There is no video stabilization, which results in shaky footage. To wrap it all up, the Redmi 9 Prime should be a good option for those trying to buy a smartphone under 10,000 rupees. You get a Full HD Plus display, decent performance and really long lasting battery life. Since it comes in 2 variants that are priced in 2 different segments, you get this weird dilemma. The base variant costs 9,999 rupees, and for what you get, it is a pretty good price tag. But the top variant at almost 12,000 bucks may not sit well with many because it goes head on against the Realme Narzo 10 and Redmi's own Note 9, and both offer better camera performance.
The Redmi 9 Prime was brought into the market to serve at the 10,000 rupee price segment because the Redmi Note 9 series had gotten more expensive. So if you are on a tight budget, the base variant of the Redmi 9 Prime will make some sense. But if you are looking at the higher variant, well, it does not offer the same kind of value for money, making it a little hard to recommend. So that was my review of the Redmi 9 Prime. Now what do you think about the smartphone? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to Garage360.com.